Hi friends! Today we have a really nice Hatha practice where we'll get some nice stretching in our upper and lower body and have a really soothing embodied practice. So no props needed, let's just meet on our mats. We'll begin lying down today. So just lower yourself onto your back, on your mat. You might gently tuck your shoulder blades underneath you just a little bit. If you're having any crunchiness in your low back, you can bend your knees, walk your feet wide, and let your knees rock in towards each other. Otherwise, you can keep your legs extended long, maybe let your feet or your toes rock out, ankles rock in. And we'll bring both hands to our bellies as we soften our gaze or close our eyes. And start to breathe a little deeper. Feel the hands on your belly lift with each inhale and release gently towards the earth with each exhale. Soften the muscles around your eyes. Maybe release your jaw by creating a little space between your teeth, maybe letting your tongue rest at the top of your mouth, the roof of your mouth. And let the softness travel all the way down to the tips of your toes. Starting to disconnect from anything happening around you. Still noticing what's there, still hearing any sounds, feeling a breeze on your skin or the feel of your mat against your body, but not necessarily engaging with these things with all of your attention, really keeping that focus on your breath. And if you'd like to set an intention for today's practice, now is a great time to call to mind something that you'd like to carry with you during our time together today. It might be something that you're really grateful for, maybe something that inspires you, or something that motivates you to come out on your mat. With this thing held close in your mind and in your heart, empty out all of the air in your lungs. Take a full breath in, letting the hands on your belly swell as you fill yourself up with breath. And let out a long sigh. Take a big stretch overhead like you're waking up first thing in the morning. Reaching your fingertips up above your head, reaching your toes out long. And then walk your hands and feet over towards the right. So you're making a big arc shape with your body. Both shoulders and both hips are still pressed against the mat. So this is really a side stretch rather than a twist. And if you'd like to deepen the stretch, you can stack your palms or cross your left ankle over your right ankle, or both. Really breathing space into your rib cage, both your left side ribs, where there's a lot of opening in those muscles between your ribs, and on your right side. Kind of moving away from a sense of compression there, even though we're arcing inwards. And then as you're ready, inhale your way back to center. And exhale your feet over to the left, your hands over to the left, maybe stacking palms or crossing right ankle over left, but keeping your full back body connected to the earth. Taking about 5 or 6 breaths here. Nice job. Inhale your way back to center, and then bring your knees into your chest, giving yourself a little squeeze. You might stay in stillness, or you might gently rock to one side and then the other. Meeting in center will extend long through both legs. You can always bring your hands behind your hamstrings for a little extra support here, or rest them on the ground. And just begin to point and flex your toes, keeping your shoulders drawn away from your ears and pressed into the mat. Engaging your low belly, pressing your low back into the mat. And then draw some circles with your feet. Switching directions. And then keeping your knees stacked directly over your hips. Take a bend in your legs so that your shins are parallel to the mat. Squeeze your legs together, really engaging your midline and feeling your core light up. And then we'll interlace our hands at the base of our skull. Inhale to lift your shoulder blades up off the mat, any amount. And we'll take some yogi bicycles. So opposite knee comes to opposite elbow, so you crunch up. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, other side. Moving with your breath. So this might feel a little bit slower than you're used to. That's totally fine. We're really being intentional today. And there'll be an opportunity to speed things up in a moment. But for now, just moving really mindfully, really slowly. Option to start speeding things up if you'd like. We'll be here about 4 or 5 more rounds of breath, really building some heat in our core, low belly. Beautiful. With your next breath, squeeze your knees into your chest, tuck your nose up towards your knees, making yourself a tiny little ball. And then begin to rock along the length of your spine. Gathering momentum so that you can roll over your ankles and make your way into a tabletop shape. So active belly here, just engage our abs, so keep those active in table, pressing the ground away. Option to take a few cat-cows here, starting to explore flexion and extension in your spine. So each inhale, belly will come to the ground, chest through biceps, gaze up. And each exhale, press the ground away, tuck tail, chin to chest. Maybe you do a few more just like this, or maybe you explore some additional movement. Maybe some hip circles, neck rolls, movement side to side, whatever's feeling good in your body. Then we'll pause back in our tabletop. Step your left hand towards your midline. Inhale your right fingertips up to the sky. Exhale to thread your right arm underneath your left and pause, hovering with your right fingers above the ground. Inhale to sweep your fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, thread and hover. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, thread and release, letting your right arm, shoulder, temple rest onto the mat. For a deeper stretch, you can try to send your right fingertips out towards the left, or out in the direction they're heading. You might walk your left fingertips towards the top of your mat. Or you can float your left fingertips to the sky, taking a half bind as you reach for your right hip crease with your left fingers. We'll take one more breath here. And then make our way back to center. So planting your left palm, root through your hand to rise up, reaching through your right fingertips before planting them back on the mat. We'll catch the other side. So left fingertips inhale up to the sky. Exhale to thread them through and hover. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, thread and hover. Inhale, left fingertips to the sky. Exhale, left fingertips underneath your right arm. Lower your left arm, shoulder, temple to the mat. Option to pause here, or extend your right fingertips forward. Maybe reach them up to the sky, or find that half bind. Reaching for the crease of your left hip. One more breath. And we'll plant our palm in front of our nose. Inhale to sweep your left fingertip up and up. And exhale, plant it back on your mat. Step your right foot in between your hands, coming straight to our low lunge. Inhale, fingertips up to the sky. Pause for a moment, really pressing through the top of your left foot. Magnetizing your right heel, left knee together. Maybe you will cactus your arms out to the side. Gaze to the sky. Option to heel toe your foot forward just a few inches and sink a little deeper into your low lunge. Keeping your hips square to the top of your mat and your shoulders relaxed. With your next inhale, reach your fingertips up to the sky as you walk your right foot. Exhale, left hand comes down up to your mat. We're taking kind of a wide-legged version of a twist. So right fingertips are reaching up to the sky, shoulders are stacked. Right leg is just a little wider than normal. 2 or 3 more breaths here. Exhale, bring your right foot back between your hands. Step it back to your table and send your hips in a big circle. Notice any changes side to side. And then switch the directions of your circle. Meeting back in our tabletop. Step your left foot forward. Sweep your fingertips up. Low lunge. Settling into the shape. Taking a few breaths in stillness here. Core is active, shoulders relaxed. Gaze is focused, but also relaxed. Option to send your left foot forward slightly. Deepen your lunge. An option to cactus your arms out to the side, finding a little lift in your heart. We'll begin to move towards our twists. So inhale, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, right hand plants as your left foot walks out to the left. Wide leg version of your twist. And then our twist, your gaze can be up at your thumb above your head, maybe out to the horizon, or down on the ground, whatever is feeling best in your neck. With an exhale, release, framing your left foot with your hand, and then step your legs back. Walk your hands a handprint forward, tuck your toes, coming to our first down dog. Take a few breaths to pedal out your legs. Maybe take some deep bends in your knees, and then relax your heels towards the ground. You might nod your head yes and no. And then we'll inhale our gaze forward between our hands. Exhale, step walk. Maybe hop up to the top of your mat. And hang for a forward fold. You might shift your weight front and back, side to side. You might bend into one knee and then the other. You might take hold of opposite elbows and just sway gently to one side and then the other. Taking the next 2 or 3 breaths here to completely release, completely relax. Meeting back in center, we'll inhale for our half lift, reaching the crown of our head forward. Exhale to fold forward. With your next inhale, rise up to standing. Sweeping your arms out and up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Beautiful. Feel yourself coming to standing. Pausing for a moment here. Inhale your palms up to the sky. Exhale, press actively outward as you release them down and behind your back, interlacing your palms. Inhale for a chest opener, pressing your knuckles down towards the floor, away from your low back. You might find a few gentle neck rolls here. Maybe catching some strong sensation in your front body. One more deep inhale here. Exhale to fold forward. Option to keep your hands interlaced as you do this. Releasing your fingertips. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, fingers plant. Step your left foot back, keeping your toes facing the front of your mat. Hips parallel. We're coming to our pyramid pose. So we'll inhale to sweep our arms out and up. Checking in, squaring hips, feet on train tracks. And then we'll exhale, hinge the hips, reach forward, and then down. Letting your hands come to the mat, to your leg, to blocks. Draw your right hip back in space. Inhale to find a little extra length in your spine. Exhale to release. Three breaths here. Press actively through all 4 corners of both of your feet. With your next inhale, lift up halfway. Walk your fingertips just a little bit in front of you and bring your weight into your right foot, lifting your left toes off the mat. Keeping your hips square, option to point or flex your foot. And then with your next exhale, we'll make our way to warrior 2. So left foot lands, left heel grounds, and we'll cartwheel our way up to our warrior. Take a moment to adjust in your feet so you're feeling a strong stance. You should be able to see your first couple of toes on your right foot. If not, send your right knee out in space. Gentle release of your tailbone, fingertips active, imagining that you're trying to touch the wall in front of you and the wall behind you at the same time as you're pressing the ground away. Lots of activity here. Lots of strength in this pose. One more deep breath in. Sigh out the mouth. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Right fingertips reach up and back. Left hand either comes down your left leg or behind your back. Opening up through your side body. Exhale. Cartwheel your hands around your right foot. Press off your left toes. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift, long spine. Exhale, fingertips plant, right foot steps back, moving to our pyramid pose. Inhale to rise up. Check in. Feet are both facing forward, more or less. Hips are square toward the top of your mat. With your exhale, reach forward, and then release down. Fingertips resting towards the mat. Totally fine if they don't touch the floor. Inhale for a half lift, really finding a length in your spine, and exhale to release. Three breaths here. Smoothing your inhales and exhales. Keeping your core active, midline active. As you're ready with your next inhale, fingertips step forward a few inches. As you begin to balance, weight into your left foot. Right leg reaching back behind you, maybe up to the sky. With your next exhale, left or right foot plants, moving to warrior two. Right heel is grounded. Sweeping your arms up, taking a moment to check in with your lower body. Legs should be actively working towards each other. Maybe your left knee opens towards the left. Fingertips reaching actively. Again, smooth your breath. Feel yourself working here, but invite a little bit of softness as you do. With your next inhale, we'll reverse our warrior. Left fingertips reach up and back. Right fingertips come behind your back or rest down your leg. Opening up. With an exhale, cartwheel your hands forward. Step back into a plank pose. We'll take a deep breath in. Exhale, elbows tuck in close, lower all the way down to your belly. When you arrive here, extend your left arm out to the side. Your thumb will be about in line with your nose. And then press into your right palm to roll yourself over onto your left side body any amount. So you could bend one knee, maybe both knees. Your right arm can stay with fingertips on the mat, or you can reach it up into the air. Maybe taking some big circles. Or bring the back of your hand to your low back. Pressing your left palm into the mat to deepen your stretch, maybe walking those fingertips away from you. 1 or 2 more breaths here. With your next exhale, roll back onto your stomach. Bring both shoulders, or both elbows underneath your shoulder, rising up to Sphinx pose. And then release, finding this opener on the other side. Right arm reaches long through your left palm to roll yourself over onto your right side any amount. Bending one or both knees, keeping your left hand on the mat, or reaching out to the sky, kind of magnetizing your shoulder blades together on your back. Maybe you find some movement with that top arm. Or maybe you bend your elbow, reaching for a half bind. Inviting softness where you can, while embracing the sensations of this pose. One more deep breath. And exhale, roll back onto your belly. Palms under shoulders, press up to down dog. When you arrive here, send your right leg up and back, reaching long through your heel. Exhale, right knee towards right wrist, right ankle towards left wrist, coming to our pigeon pose. Keep a flex through your right foot. Take a peek back at your left leg. Make sure it's all in one line, and then your foot's not headed off in one direction or the other. Inhale to find lift, lengthen, and then lower as you are ready. Maybe you stay with your palms on the ground in a high pigeon. Maybe you lower down to your forearms on a block or book or on the mat. Or maybe you begin to release even further, perhaps stacking your palms and resting your forehead there. Or walking your hands out in front of you. We'll take about 5 breaths here. Notice if you're clenching any body parts, any muscles. And notice if your breath feels a little restricted or labored. If this is the case, maybe inch out of the shape just a little bit so that you can soften, so that you can relax. With your next inhale, begin to slowly rise up, taking your time, move in ways that feel good to you. And then we'll move to our tabletop pose. Take some big circles with your right knee. You might extend it long back behind you, keeping your toes on the mat, rocking back and forth. And then as you're ready, after you've taken circles in both directions, found all the stretches that feel good to you, we'll make our way back to down dog. And this time, we'll send our left foot up and back. Long reach of our legs. Exhale, pigeon on the left side. Left knee towards left wrist. Left ankle towards right wrist. Take a moment to set yourself up again. Peeking back at your back leg, flexing through your left foot. And inhale, find your lift. Exhale, lower any amount. Releasing at the pace that your body is ready, knowing that there might be differences between sides. That's totally fine. Maybe you deepen your breath slightly here. And imagine your exhales carrying away any muscle tension or stress. With your next inhale, begin to slowly rise up, taking your time, moving at your pace. Shift to your tabletop pose and find those big circles with your left knee. Switching directions. And maybe sending your left leg long, toes on the mat, shifting forward and back. Meeting back in tabletop, sit your hips back towards your heels, and then bring your legs out in front of you. Find a comfortable seat of any kind. Sitting up tall on your mat. Drawing your hands together at heart center. We'll soften our gaze or let our eyes close. Pausing for just a few moments of stillness and silence as we close out practice. With your next inhale, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Send a little thank you to yourself for making space in your day to nurture and cultivate your relationship with your body. Some mindfulness practices, gaining tools and skills you can take off of your mat too. Thank you so much for joining me in practice today. Namaste.